What's going on, guys? So as the title of this video suggests, today I want to talk a little bit about Letterboxd. So whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, Twitter, anywhere in the film internet space, you know what Letterboxd is. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. This is assuming that you know what Letterboxd is. So lately I've been having some thoughts about the app, and I wanted to take the time to make this video explaining my personal experience with it. Now, just to be clear, I do love Letterboxd. This is not an anti-Letterboxd video. Quite the opposite. I love Letterboxd. So this is just going to be my experience with it. If you've had similar experiences, I would love to hear about it, so please let me know in the comments. So, every time I watch a movie, I log it on Letterboxd. Period. No exceptions. I give everything a star rating. And something I've been trying to do in 2023 is write a review for every new movie that I see, whether it's a quick blurb or a more in-depth analysis. This is pretty common. Everybody probably does this. But something I've noticed lately is that it's something that I'm constantly thinking about when I go to watch a movie, and it's something that has been affecting the way that I watch movies, to a small degree, but it's there. And that's the important thing. It's not something that goes away. It's always there. Before I started using Letterboxd, I didn't really have a way to organize and have every movie that I've ever seen in one place, when I saw it, what I gave it, all that stuff, all those stats. I love stats. I'm a big stats guy. So Letterboxd is very appealing to me for those reasons. But something that I've been dealing with lately is that I've been placing a lot of emphasis on these stats. I'm always trying to increase the number of movies I watch per month and per year. I love looking at that number at the end of the year of how many movies I watched. But I'm also looking at other people's stats as well and kind of comparing my stats to theirs. And I see people who've already watched 100 movies, and it's only early March. And I can't help but think to myself, like, did they watch all of those movies? Like, did they really watch them? Like, phone off, full concentration? Start to get a little skeptical, and then I catch myself thinking these things, and then I'm like, does it really matter? Why are you hung up on this stuff? I don't know if that's just me. If you deal with that too, let me know. I would like to feel like I'm not the only one who does that. I'm always wondering if I'm spending my free time wisely, if I'm watching as many movies as I could be. Not to get morbid, but you sort of have that realization, like, I'm never gonna see all the movies that I want to see before I die. And maybe you can, maybe you don't want to see that many movies, but my list is always growing. It's impossible to ever get the watch list down to zero. So in the age of Letterboxd, it's only become more easy to fixate on these things. When I'm looking, I'm like, oh, between the 5th and the 10th, I didn't watch anything. I'm like, what was I doing? I wasn't spending my time well. But then, I kind of tell myself, comparison is the thief of joy. Not to get too philosophical, but it's not something that's worth getting hung up on. And it's something that I'm always working on. Something else that I catch myself doing before I even watch a movie is thinking about what score I'm going to wind up giving it when the movie's over, before I've even pressed play or anything. And then during the movie, I'll be thinking of things to write in a review when I'm done the movie. And then I'm also like thinking like, oh, what did this person give the movie? What did that person give the movie? And none of these are like inherently negative things, but I've found that they can prevent me from being fully present in the movie while I'm watching it and not really giving it the due diligence that I should probably be giving it. It's sort of like I'm thinking about dessert before I've even finished dinner, if that makes any sense. So just, if you feel that way too, let me know. I'd love to, again, get a conversation going about how we analyze and consume movies in the Letterboxd era, if you will. Movies are supposed to be this escape, right? So when I find myself focusing and fixating on these outside factors, it can prevent me from enjoying the movie to the fullest. So maybe you can relate to what I'm saying here, or maybe you think I'm taking it way too seriously. Either way is fine. I'll admit that depending on the movie, if I'm really connecting with it or if I find it super boring, I'm going to check my phone a handful of times during the movie if I find that I'm not really engaging with it. That being said, I'm working on prioritizing leaving the phone in the other room when I do watch a movie. Unless I'm in a theater, in which case the phone is off. So in a way, I kind of wish that, you know, I always had to have it off, because I find that and it goes without saying, but when you have nothing to distract you, the movie, you know, you're connecting with the movie on a deeper level. Probably goes without saying, I don't need to tell you that. You know, I tell you this at the risk of being dismissed as not being a real, you know, film lover or whatever you want to call me, in an attempt to be transparent. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who does this. I commend you if every time you watch a movie, every single time, your phone is off and in a different room or something like that. I blame it on an over-reliance on social media in this age, and part of the era in which I grew up. It's just something that I'm trying to unlearn those habits that have been instilled in me for a long time now. I kind of miss the days of just like, you would watch a movie and you would discuss it with your friends or your family, whoever was around, really. And then that was kind of it. You didn't have this pressure to kind of prove that you understood the movie in every facet, and that you could, you know, explain to somebody what you didn't like and disliked about it. Those can be great things, but I feel like it's something that I'm constantly thinking about, and it can be negative and it can be a positive, because now in this age, I also feel that I'm looking at movies in a way that I didn't before. So it's all about striking a healthy balance and just kind of, you know, taking each movie as they come and making them, you know, feel like a unique experience each time, rather than making it feel kind of like work, I guess is what I'm getting at. Engaging in like film discourse online can be very rewarding, especially with people whose opinions that you really respect and admire, but it can also be toxic. That's just the internet for you. You know, somebody might criticize me for giving a low rating to a movie that they hold in high regard. It's very important to me to always rate movies as accurately as possible. I don't ever want to feel pressured to give something a higher rating just because people that I know and the larger film community as a whole has rated it higher. You know, if I don't like it, my score will reflect that. I want my scores, all of my Letterboxd scores, to accurately represent my tastes as best they possibly can. So these are just some things that, you know, I've kind of had on my mind. Want to just say here again, these are not like actual big problems, more just observations. This isn't like a crisis or anything. And I will reiterate that I do love Letterboxd. I used to use like IMDb and stuff for like movie things, and it was not anywhere near as intimate and personal and like customizable as Letterboxd is. Letterboxd just has so many great features. The social media aspect of it, where you can follow your friends. The pros of Letterboxd far outweigh any cons that there may or may not be. This is sort of just like a stream of consciousness kind of video rant style thing, where I just wanted to get some of this stuff out there and see if anybody else felt the same way that I do, and how you deal with those things. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear about how you review and consume movies in 2023 in the Letterboxd era. I feel like it's an interesting topic and not really one that many people talk about. So anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today. Let me know what you think. Take care and watch more movies. And log them on Letterboxd. Don't forget that.